Hello and welcome back to Under Heaven. We will be continuing where we left off, which if you recall is after, I believe, I already forgot their names. The one on the left is Julian and I forgot the one on the right. Ugh. I believe that they went to a clinic and they were trying to figure out why they're suffering from amnesia. They remember certain things, but they just don't remember what happened within I think it was like a 2-year span. And then afterwards, they're basically having to contend with the fact that they're kind of freeloading and they don't like that. They don't like the fact that they feel like they're not really contributing anything, and they feel like all of Julian's roommates are like, oh, why are they here? Why are they taking up space? Even though for the most part, 2 of them seem to be okay with it. The only one that doesn't seem to be okay with it is, I think their name is Alex? I don't really remember. Afterwards, they decided to take Julian up on the offer to explore, I forget what it's called, but it's basically like a world that you create. And if you recall from the very beginning of the visual novel, we saw Julian's world where he was sort of very intricately, meticulously, being very like specific about how his world was crafted to the point where it was basically like it felt like he was trying to create like a one-to-one representation of the world before the domes or whatever it is that they live in. I think they were underground. I don't really remember. And the new guy basically was experiencing it for the first time and realized that they actually kind of really liked it. And they want to learn more about it and basically delve into it more. Before that though, I believe that they had a little episode where they went into the shower and they kind of just sort of blanked out to the point where it was like, yeah, I'm going to start off with hot water and I'm going to wake up with freezing cold water, which means you spent at the very least like an hour or 2 in there. So yeah, something very concerning is happening with their memory. We don't really know what that is yet though. Anyway, so without further ado, let us continue Under Heaven and figure out what's going on. I believe that this should be a lengthy update though. Would that the relative peace of my recovery could have lasted. A week or so later, I shifted uncomfortably in my seat. It's not that the chair itself is that uncomfortable. I don't know, it's average. It's a chair. But this interview was supposed to start over 20 minutes ago. I hate sitting like this. For a second, I wonder if it's supposed to be some sort of test. Maybe I'm meant to show that I've got that can-do attitude by getting up and asking where the manager is. Or just as likely, maybe they'll be annoyed at me bothering employees when they told me to wait here. Either way, the thing that I'm presumably not supposed to do is get up and start pacing like a maniac. Which is the one thing that I actually want to do. The small building is in a somewhat dilapidated looking office park, right on the inner edge of the disc. Just not, the edge that's actually close to home. It's nearly all the way across, in fact. But I've dealt with worse than a bad commute. Nothing interesting on the news. I drum my fingers on my thigh and try not to psych myself out. Probably not a great sign if they have this little respect for my time. Finally, the door opens. Mr. Ash Kalberg? That's me. So glad that you could stop by. I'm afraid that we're running a little slow here today. You know how it goes. I hope that you weren't waiting for too long. Oh, not at all. Wonderful. Well, let's just jump right into it, shall we? Sure, sounds good. So, this will be for the customer support associate role. It's a challenging position and not everyone is up for it. If I may be quite frank, some of the clients that you work with won't really want to speak with you at all. Wait a second. So, of course, you'll need to be positive, you need to be ready to give it your all, and you need to just be a little persistent and assertive. You mean assertive in providing support with whatever problem they're having with the product? Well, I mean, yes, of course, if that's how things go. You can certainly work your way up to a technical support associate quickly enough. But we like to start everyone off with new customers, getting them, on board with our clients' products in the first place to make sure that they've got the right stuff before they touch more in-depth support. You understand, I'm sure. God damn it. I should have known that it was a bait and switch. They were willing to interview me after all. Like I said, it can be a bit of a trial by fire. But on top of 280 points hourly, we offer a generous commission program that you can easily double your base rate. So the commissions are going to be basically zero. The pay sucks, and if anybody else has given me an interview over the past few weeks, I'd already be out the door. It's some amount of money. It's work experience that might help me get past the gap in my employment history. Fuck. Sounds good. Excellent. So let's talk a little bit about your qualifications. You're certainly coming to us with an extremely varied set of experiences. And that's great. I'm sure that it'll help you relate to all sorts of customers. Though, if you could, would you mind telling me a bit more about the last 2-year period that you described as medical caregiving? Here we go. Every good lie contains a grain of truth. Right, for the past 2 years my mother was extremely ill. So I was the only one taking care of her. There's a lot of parts of the experience that I think could help me here. I had to keep up with and manage a whole lot of appointments. There was a lot of financial bookkeeping. I had pretty regular calls with medical and insurance professionals. Oh, goodness, well, yes, that sounds like quite a lot to manage. I can only imagine. Is that something that you'll be continuing with in a part-time capacity? No, I'm afraid that she passed. He can barely hide his relief. Well, you have my deepest condolences. With experience like that, I think that we can skip some of the case study questions. We really only handle that in the second round of interviews anyway. If you can just send us a copy of your advanced studies certificate, we should be able to move things right along. Wait a second. The job posting specifically said that I didn't need one. That's why I applied. Oh, well, that's, unfortunate. You said that the job was selling stuff to people, right? I can do that. Having a little more math or whatever shouldn't matter. Well, we really prefer to think of it as... Either way, I can do it. Look, you said that you wanted to move to the next round, right? So you seem to think so, too. Now, I understand that this might be rather frustrating for you, but I'm afraid my hands really are tied here. And just like that, it's already slipping away from me. There has to be some sort of mistake. I know which job that I applied for. I double-checked. It didn't require a certificate. I can pull it up right now. No. I'm sorry, but this position requires a certificate. It always has. Then why would you post it with an ad that specifically fucking said, I can't speak for whatever you saw in the posting. It likely would have been placed by one of our external partners, so you'd need to reach out to them. It would be best if we just end things here. I feel a vain throb in my temple. I'm suddenly and shockingly aware of my own capacity for violence, and exactly how much it could cost me. Yeah. Seems like. You can see yourself out then. I'm sure. I want to scream or smash something the second that I walk outside. The office park presents no targets. It only makes the idea seem that much more stupid by contrast. So I hold that anger in. It doesn't diminish at all as I walk. It only sours and turns rancid as I make my way towards the bus stop. I should have fucking known. I'm tired, hungry, and irate when I get back. My greatest hope is that I'll just be home alone. As I storm into the kitchen, I'm reminded that today is not a day about getting what I want. Oh, hey Ash, how's... The interview didn't go great, huh? It didn't. Well, you know, there will always be others. I blow out a sigh. It's taking a dedicated effort of will to not be shitty to him right now. God, I just want to be alone until I've got it under control again. But however great my self-restraint, I am not able to keep myself from responding. Julian, it was a fucking scam. The advert lied to get more people in, and they still wouldn't even hire me. And they're the only ones to even respond so far. There's just no way of getting around the resume gap, let alone not having my certificate. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do. Just keep trying, I guess? Something will work out eventually, I'm sure of it. And what if it doesn't? I can feel the situation spinning out of control, feeling myself getting angrier with him than I want to. I hate it. Then, I don't know. We'll figure something out together. That's not a plan. That isn't a future. No, I guess it's not. And I really am sorry that it didn't go better. He means it. Fuck. His eyes, soft and doe-like, cast his gaze down to the floor, and I feel like the world's biggest asshole. I'm sorry. This isn't your problem or your responsibility. I'm just frustrated. That's all. It's fine. I can't really imagine, honestly. I guess I've just gotten so used to things being, stable. I kind of remember when I was still hustling and just trying to make ends meet. I don't miss it. And you've got it even worse. It's fine. I'll figure things out. Always do. He looks at me, searching. I believe you. Well, you shouldn't. Frustration at him or at myself boils over, and I'm almost tempted to snap back with a bit of ill-advised cynicism. And then Julian steps closer, arms open with a question written across his face. Belatedly, I understand and nod without really thinking about it. And then Julian hugs me, awkwardly, his strong arms barely holding me. I go still, my mind empties. You're gonna make it. I can feel his nervousness, the big elk afraid of upsetting a little wolf. It's not like it was the first time that we hugged. I suppose that I was usually the one that started them. When we were younger, he was always sensitive. But it wasn't just me. As we grew, he needed to show that he cared and to know that people weren't afraid of him. He wanted to help. Maybe he needed to feel gentle. And yeah, his hugs were always welcome. He knew that they were needed. So much has happened since then to the both of us, even if I can't remember everything. Time has put so much distance between us, I didn't expect him to cross it. But he makes himself to be brave, pats my back for my sake. Something's going to work out. Julian smells nice. What? Anyway, I gotta go change for my shift. Just take it easy. Take the day off or something. There'll be other chances. See you later, Ash. He lets go of me. I need to say something. Later. And then he just leaves. Now I'm just hungry, irritated, and confused. I shouldn't read anything into that, right? I shouldn't. I'm sure that he doesn't feel any particular way about me. And even if he did, pursuing that would just be a mistake, for various obvious reasons. I can't do anything about my confusion, or the hell of job searches. But I figure that I can at least do something about my hunger, and I heat up some leftover pasta with pesto before seating myself at the table. Morning, Ash. Afternoon. Whatever. Lark passes past me, loading up a plate of leftovers and setting it into the microwave. Working tonight? Not this time. My adoring audience will just have to contend themselves with Eric fucking up all the song transitions. Tragic. For them. They roll their neck, pulling one arm up and back over their head to stretch a bit while they watch the timer ticking down. They're quite flexible, which causes my thoughts to wander to something a little more compelling than lunch. If no less pressing a desire. A need that I haven't fulfilled since waking up in this house, in fact. What did they say the other day? Something about burning off that restless energy? I'm feeling restless, alright, if my confusion towards Julian is any indication. They grab their plate and seat themselves. And how about you? Interview go well? No. Well, unfortunate, but not unexpected. It's a numbers game, when you get down to it. We eat in silence for a minute or two, but I can't quite help the thought itching at the edge of my consciousness. Fuck it. Hey. Can I ask a stupid question? I think it's exceedingly unlikely that you're going to do that. But I'll brace myself anyway. Go on. It's about, that offer that you made the other day. Ah, yes. You mean the one about weird sex stuff in the exchange? Yeah. When I offered to engage in it with you, specifically. That'd be the one. What of it? Did you mean it? They smile. It is a different smile from usual, gentler, like they're lowering a mask just for a second. Their bright eyes say that they could be giving me shit, but they don't want to, and we both know it. Playful hostilities are suspended, a humanitarian truce. Their teasing can wait. I'm not sure where this is going, but I have a feeling that I won't be living it down anytime soon. That is a problem for future Ash. Oh, I mean everything I say. They sit comfortably back in their chair, perfectly content to let the silence stretch indefinitely. If I want this, they're going to make me say it myself. Well, we both seem to have the afternoon off. That we do. So, it sounded fun. I'm down if you are. Now their eyes have a keen glint, and that smile. I am. Then the mask comes back, pretending like nothing has happened. Like nothing's about to happen. Give me just a few minutes to finish up, and I'll meet you on the other side. Guess I'll see you there then. I finish up my last bits of lunch, then I stand up and walk past Lark, who I've just agreed to have sex with, to the dishwasher. Be normal, Ash. I try to think about the fact that I'm laying down in Julian's bed as I connect myself, especially given what's about to happen. At least it's not still warm or anything. But it does still smell like him. I bury that thought. Login goes smoothly. Lark's invitation pings me and I accept. And then I'm standing nowhere? Stars surround me, not lights but real stars, even realer than some distant balls of plasma. I'm not standing, am I? I struggle to orient myself, floating in the void with no up or down or anything to push against. I suppose the zero gravity part is a bit of a cheap parlor trick, but I have to admit that I'm proud of this one. Do you feel that cold radiance? If you go through the old pre-Exodus media, the symbolic weight given to celestial bodies is quite staggering. Little wonder that the founders thought that we had to make our own. I wonder what they were afraid might molder down beneath the earth in a city without a sun or stars. Not that I'm not impressed, but this isn't exactly what I had in mind. Perhaps something grander. Reality shifts. Here, perhaps? Something suited to the blasphemy that we mean to commit? Blasphemy? Oh, come on now. Surely you wanted to explore beyond what's possible in the official instances? It's one of the few lines that even gold can't budge, no matter how many points you have to spend, a biblical fetter on our oh-so-secular society. So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God he created them. Male and female he created them. So it was written, so it must remain. One of the greatest restrictions on official instances, no changing who or what you are. Not that they would ever admit to such rank puritanism, of course. They have excuses. Some nonsense about non-existent psychological damage and the need to preserve bodily autonomy and integrity. Apparently, we must be protected from our best selves. At first, I was surprised that it's not simply monetized. Everything else is sold to us. But I believe that it is simply a great symbolic act of defiance, which can never be permitted. Who are we to take forms not permitted by our betters? Who are we to think that we are worthy to decide who and what we are? We are, each and every one of us, righteously sentenced to live and die beneath the earth in the circle of the great city that our virtues and bank accounts dictate. Save here in sacred blasphemy, where we might rule ourselves. But I imagine you start with a more ready grasp on the necessity of such exploration than Julian did. They've been speaking with so much drama that their expectant pause catches me by surprise. What do you mean? Oh, come on now. We're both, what euphemism or slur to use? People with pronouns? We were both forced towards roles that did not become us, and we both resisted. I like to think us cousins, though our roads are rather different. But here... And then they snap their fingers and move with a grace-like dance, sensuous, shifting. Here, we are equalized in this space of infinite possibilities. Here, we erase that sacred line. Here, we rend the temple curtain for ourselves, that we might be as profane as suits our will and our whims. Whatever I was prepared for, it wasn't that. The relevance of it all to my own circumstances makes me feel foolish for not thinking of it earlier. I was just pent up before. Now though, I'm invested. Lark pivots effortlessly from his twisting motion and shifting shape, regarding me once more through critical eyes. Though, no. You don't exactly strike me as a fantasy and antiquity type. Between you and me, that's more Julian's thing. Perhaps something more natural. They snap their fingers and we're transported again. We're outdoors now. A sky awash with stars and color stretches above, while a few pieces of scattered furniture surround us. Just past the edge of the firelight cast by a burning tree, the wind whips snow in intricate patterns. Dimly I remember that snow is supposed to be cold. It doesn't feel that way though. There, a blanket of snow to complement that lovely fur of yours. Can you, warn me when you do that? It's disorientating. Noted. As much as I enjoy monologues and dramatic reveals, we can find other ways to occupy ourselves. Not that I don't appreciate all the coy flirting and dancing around the subject, but here we are. As tempting as it would be, I'm not going to simply sweep you off your feet and bedazzle you with my prowess, sexual or otherwise. So, what is it that you'd actually like to do, Ash? I'd be lying if I said that I hadn't assumed that they were going to do that. Well, any other time I'd rather be the one doing the sweeping. But everything about this space is new and overwhelming. This time, maybe I do want someone to show me the ropes, metaphorically anyway. So, let's start there. I guess I'm curious what kinds of, unusual things you get up to in the exchange, given how much you are talking it up. It must be an experience. Things like this, you mean? They relax into the arms of themselves? And they do so easily. Lark conjures and maintains them effortlessly, like it's nothing but a form of play. The flanking doppelgangers caress and fawn over them. Then I realize they're all Lark, mercurial and ever-shifting. I'm in a primordial kind of awe. I'm also, it hits me, incredibly turned on. Yes. But more than that, I might imagine. You don't have any real experience shaping the exchange for yourself, do you? No, not really. Alas, it will come with time, but I don't think that this is a place to start learning. Still, you're looking and you're curious. They reach up to stroke the cheek of their more masculine version. He leans into it, eyes closed, docile and tame. And that's the hard question. Whether you're salivating to put your hands on what you see, or whether you want to have it for yourself. Whether you want to explore yourself. What do you mean? Well, I think that we could have plenty of fun like this. And with a snap of their fingers, the doppelgangers are gone. But I don't think that that's what you're looking for. If it's what you want, I could do the same for you. Show you yourself. Show other ways of being. There is at least one version of that I already didn't really much care for. And one you worked quite hard for. Would you like to see it pushed further? This is a place of freedom. However you feel about your body as it stands, I can't imagine that you've never enjoyed the fantasy of other ways that you might be in some other capacity. That's a lot to take in. Frightening, maybe, raising the specter of the dysphoria that I put in the ground. But they aren't wrong. In fantasy, who doesn't sometimes imagine themselves more like who they feel they are, who they might wish to be, or even who they might play with being, just for a moment. I want to see where this goes. Yeah, well, let's do it. Such bravado, wonderful. Still, we're wading through hazardous waters. The moment that you tell me to end things, I will. I will. Very good. Now then, no artist can work without a model. Get a little more comfortable, and I might join you. The following scenes contains visual depictions of nudity or sexuality. I will have to skip the scene because this is where they, they do this stuff. So we will have to skip it. But suffice it to say, you do see Lark and them, along with a male or more masculine version of the character that we currently are right now, in a threesome, basically. But yeah. The slight pause as I disconnect is almost a welcome reprieve from the overstimulation. I didn't exactly miss the slight ache in my injured arm that resumes as I find myself back in Julian's room. probably for the best that I can reach his shower without leaving the room. I'm still a bit of a wreck even after the shift is done. What was I thinking, hugging Ash like that? It's been so long. We're not as close as we used to be. The hug was intrusive and unwelcome, probably. Not that he's going to feel comfortable saying so to the face of the guy that's paying his rent. Which is the exact reason that I should have known better than to do something like that. It's whatever. It's fine. It was only platonic, right? Right. My inability to keep my mind out of the gutter is all that's making this weird. Still, I'm almost relieved to find Amir slightly burning the midnight oil at the kitchen table as I grab some cold leftovers from the fridge. Hey. Hey. Have a decent shift? He's brought home a sandwich for dinner, chicken parm, and he takes a long, slow bite before responding. Went alright, nothing exciting. He glances at me with effortless appraisal, and I can feel that I haven't successfully hid much. You look angsty. It's a casual observation. Yeah. And I know Amir. He's asking about me in his way. But he's also not going to push the subject an inch past what I'm actually willing to talk about. I sigh, brushing my hand over my head. Hey, how do you think Ash is doing? Ash? I mean, I don't know really. Surprised that you're asking me. You're closer to him than I am. That's... I don't know. I guess that's sort of it. I feel like things have been weird with him lately. Weird how? Yeah, Julian. Weird how? I don't know. I guess I worry about him, but I don't want to get too overly involved or be overbearing or anything, you know? Not really. Don't think that you've had that problem when any of the rest of us have been dealing with some shit. But it's been different with him, especially with the job hunt stuff. The whole situation with not having anything for years has completely fucked him over, and he keeps trying so hard. Yeah? Yeah, and he keeps hitting the wall over and over again. And I want to help, but I can't. That's not how that works. So I just keep watching and he keeps trying. And I don't know. It rips me up inside and I don't know what to do with it. Yeah, that seems tough. Sounds like you care about him a lot. He says it so nonchalantly, like it's such a simple thing. Does he mean more than that? Do I? Well, I mean, yeah. We go way back. Sure. But it's been ages since you talked, yeah? I mean, yeah, I guess. Oh, what's your point? You're a caring guy. It's one of your better traits. But you don't usually get this mixed up about it, is all. What are you really saying? He looks at me, eyebrows raised. Maybe it's only in realization how utterly transparent my feelings are to him that they became that way to me. Fuck. My forehead thuds down onto the table. I'm an idiot, aren't I? You can tell me, it's fine. Well, at least you're still pretty. It's funny. I remember Derek saying something similar around when we got together. Jesus, what am I supposed to do about feeling that way though? I mean, I can't do anything, right? You get why I can't. No, yeah, I get it. The whole... everything, yeah. Guess you've got some cold showers in your future. Man, fuck you. Gonna have to see if he's fine with that first, ain't ya? I groan, Well, thanks for listening. I think. Anytime. And hey, the way things are now isn't how they're always gonna be. He must be something special if he caught your eye. Got a feeling something will work out sooner or later. Maybe. I don't fucking know. You know how it is. Guess we'll see. Well, I'm gonna call it. Catch you later. Night. My room feels more empty than usual when I flop down on the bed. God, what a stupid situation to find myself in. Well, at least it's temporary. Something will work out sooner or later. And then Ash won't be depending on me. He'll probably want to move out instead of staying on our couch. And then... I don't know. I don't know what I want. I don't know what I'd say. Maybe I'll just find out when I get there. It's Friday. Julian and Lark are both working late again. Amir, in a rarity for such a busy day at his work, has a day off. Alex, meanwhile... Come on, it'll be fun. I'm not saying that I'm not down to go out, but that is not how that shit works. If I even wanted to go there, which I don't. Man, you can't be serious. What's the point of working in a bar if they don't give you any discounts at all? Food, shelter, clothing. That kind of thing. Ugh. Still, it's the weekend. We should go out somewhere. You agreed, right, Ash? My accounts are still at a flat 0. As if reading my mind, Amir relents. Sure, fuck it. And don't worry about it, Ash. Your tab's on me. Just don't go ordering steaks or off the top shelf. Oh, I mean, sure, me too. Yeah. We can just split it. Well... It's not like I have anything else going on. Sure, I mean, I'm down. Hell yeah. So let's see. If we're not hitting Amir's work... Alex shows his comprehensive, somewhat terrifying knowledge of the local drinking establishments as he makes suggestions. Amir shoots down most of the most expensive options over Alex's complaints. I mostly decline to weigh in. I really don't know the area. In the end, they compromise on one of the nicer dive bars nearby, which seems like a contradiction, but whatever. Honestly, it isn't that bad. Maybe a little loud for my tastes, but the place is clean enough and the drinks are cheap even if I'm not paying. I don't have any particular desire to go hard, but a slight buzz makes the noise more tolerable and makes me more content to simply sit back and watch their conversation flow back and forth. Even if, once again, I find myself not really participating. Anyway, I still think that it's bullshit that Carlson got off without a penalty. Rules is rules. I mean, I'm not mad to, but if the league wants people to stop diving like that, they have to actually do something. No sense in getting mad at people for playing the game in front of them. I guess. It all seems so normal. As I watch them talk, I'm reminded, unprompted, of how Amir lost his partner, but here he is carrying on with the conversation like normal. If it's possible to come back from something like that and act normal, maybe it's possible for me. Derek, wasn't it? I wonder where he is. Before that thought can spiral, I snap myself out of it, turning back to the conversation that they're still arguing without really arguing about the penalty. Some ancient memory struggles to the surface. I never really kept up when I was on the streets, but I spy that glimmer of connection, reaching out to seize it like a drowning man. Wait, shit. Do the Archers still have Carlson? Oh, right, shit. Julian mentioned that you're from back home. Makes sense that you could be an Archers fan. Well, I kinda missed out on the last couple of years. Yeah, I guess so. But, you know, if you don't mind, I'd kinda like to catch up. Oh man, did you miss out on some shit? So, you're not gonna believe this. The conversation keeps flowing as it was, but I find myself a little bit closer to its center. I react, I offer my opinion. Sometimes it's even asked for. I feel like a living person. The slight buzz of alcohol coats the evening in a pleasant sheen, something frozen in me beginning to thaw and flow once more. It's nearly perfect. It comes so close. Right up until the moment when I lose a few words of the conversation. And then a few more. There is a bar napkin in my hands. It wasn't there before. It's shredded. No, it's torn more deliberately than that. There is a pattern to it, rigid and geometric. I I need to go. To the bathroom. I'll be right back. You okay? I can come with. Give him some space. He's not been out in a while, huh? He's probably fine. I am fine. Sorry, just a sec. I slammed the bathroom door and leaned back heavily against it. I won't allow myself to be afraid. I've been here before. It won't catch me by surprise this time. I just need to write this out. I just need to let it pass. I just need to endure. I need to refuse to let this roll me. I need... I awaken with a start. What is this? Where did these numbers come from? Why am I touching them? Why is my claw touching the glass of the mirror like I just... No. Whatever this is, I just need to get a grip. I just have to be stronger. I know that I can keep it together. And this will just be an embarrassing memory of a mistake, nothing more. And yet... I glance nervously around. Of course there's no cameras, it's a bathroom, and nobody's knocking on the door. Nobody needs to know. But I look back at those numbers. I slip my mobile interface out of my pocket and plug it in. I look directly at the numbers. And I save the image. I'm quick to rip the interface back out. With the picture of my crime stowed in my pocket, I force myself to settle. I wash my hands, and then I dry them, slowly and methodically. I square my shoulders and make my way back out into the bar, ready to fight for what little sliver of life I've regained. But I might have preferred it if we were an actual fight. No, I mean, I don't exactly have a loader cert, but I could get one. After a while, the days start to blur together. Hey, just wanted to follow up. I interviewed a little while back and, sure, I'll hold. Hello? If I was good at failing at things before, I've now sharpened the skill to a razor's edge. Hey, sorry to bother you. I just got the new schedule and it looks like you might have forgotten to put me on... What do you mean, not adding staff at this time? You already hired me. Yeah? Well, if you want the apron back, you can provisionally suck my fucking... hello? Of course, everyone says that there's nothing for it but to keep trying until something works. So I suppose that it figures that what finally works isn't anything I did at all. I haven't really left the house all day. No recent leads have gone anywhere. I'm at least relieved to have the place to myself. I hate having people around while I'm trying to send off more applications. Either I'm distracted by them being in the same room, or I move when they enter. They notice that they've chased me out, and it's just that little bit more uncomfortable for everyone. I'm surprised to see Amir home first. It's mid-afternoon, but he does get brunch shift sometimes. He looks smug. Hey? Hey, Ash. You busy? It's been a couple of hours on the couch. I shrug and stretch my shoulders. Kinda. But I could probably use a break. Trust me. You're gonna want to take a break for this. I perk up a bit. Yeah? What's up? He seems determined to take his time. Well, I forgot if I might have mentioned, but one of the dishwashers at work hasn't really been working out. Sorry to hear that. Were they gonna get it fixed? The person, not the machine. Oh. Oh, wait, are you saying... I've managed to stick around a couple of months without fucking things up too badly. They listen to me a bit. So I might have been mentioning this guy that I know. Hard worker, a real go-getter, that's just been having the toughest time getting anyone to give him a chance. Holy shit, Amir, I don't even know what to say. Thank you. Yeah, well, I might have included that whole line about you doing the caretaker thing for your mom for the last 2 years, so make sure to keep your story straight on that one. When do I start? Tomorrow. You like hot wings? Not especially. Well, you're really gonna hate them once you've gotten a shift in. Great. Amir's a man of his word. Something about the wings sauce the bar uses seems to permeate the entire kitchen, the spice irritating my eyes and nose constantly. Besides that, it immediately congeals into a kind of crust that's absolutely hell to get off the plates. They go easy on me for my first shift, which is to say that I spend the whole time nearly drowning. Amir's the one to catch me and let me know that the supervisor app that they had me run on my interface fucks up pretty regularly, which explains why he keeps pinging me to grab dishes that aren't there, but does nothing to stop the headache-inducing alarm or alert me before a waiter barks at me for missing dishes that are. But I make it through. And I know that I can do it tomorrow too. I'm sweaty, exhausted, and nearly ready to shout with triumph when the two of us emerge out onto the late-night streets. Amir's less energized, and it takes me a second to realize that I left him behind. Hold up. Give me a minute here. He's walking stiffly with a hand pressed to his lower back, and he reaches down to withdraw a familiar-looking cartridge. Ah, shit. Yeah, no rush. I'm joining him, leaning against the wall. I know that he has some back pain from the Gen 2 issues. He tends to be a bit sedentary around the house. He's just been on his feet and holding down the kitchen at a breakneck pace for 8 hours. He takes a deep drag. Just how much pain does he have to numb every day that he works? Shouldn't be long. Sorry. Don't mention it. I still owe you one. More than one, honestly. It's nothing. You did good. You've been trying. You had a good turn coming. I think it's about what anyone would do, if they had the chance. I smile weakly. Maybe not anyone. He waves his hand dismissively. Most anyone. Helping's easy when it costs you nothing. It's the ones that you can't help that are hard. It's hard to watch people fade out. I'm keenly aware that I'm wearing a most likely dead man's clothes. Hey, Amir? With how crazy things have been, I don't know if I ever got to thank you properly for Derek's old stuff. I don't know if it's easy or not to see me wearing it around. It's what he would have wanted. He would have liked you. Liked most people. I nod, not really sure what to say. I glance over. His expression hasn't changed. But there is a wet sheen in his eyes, another burden carried silently on his bent and aching back. We're alone as can be, but I still feel like I'm intruding on something private. I'm sorry. It's a stupid thing to say. Maybe he understands what I meant. Or maybe the words themselves don't really matter. But maybe I flatter myself enough to think that being here does. He looks out into the distance. He isn't really gone. The conviction in his tone startles me. I'm not sure how to ask if he's being literal or not, but his next words answer me. He's still out there somewhere. I know it. It doesn't make sense, even if he's dead. There would have been a body, a note, something. We'd have found something. He can't have just disappeared from the world. I hesitate. When I left my old life behind, people came looking. It was hard work not being found. People can disappear, but they have to want to. The way everyone talks about Derek, the stuff that he left behind, the people. Why would he want to? Telling that to Amir won't do any good. Better not to answer all that. He takes in a deep breath, his hand quivering slightly around the vape. Ash? Yeah? You haven't been straight with us about everything. My heart leaps into my throat. If he had any doubt at all, my expression gives me away instantly. But he continues. It's not my fucking business. You're a good man. If you have shit that you're keeping to yourself, you have your reasons. But I need to ask you something. And I need you to swear that you'll give me the truth. He has me dead to rights. And I owe him this. I nod solemnly. I swear. This thing that happened to you, the vanishing act, the 2 years gone. Is there anything that makes you think that maybe it happened to Derek too? I think through everything as carefully as I can. He waits, letting me take my time. I don't know. I still barely know anything about it myself. But he deserves more than that. As far as you know, Derek never modified his implants or the firmware or anything, did he? He gives me a long, scrutinizing look. He did art stuff with Julian and Lark, set up some of those jailbroken instances. Messing with the implants, though. I've never heard of that kind of thing. Sounds dangerous. I pick my words carefully. And before he disappeared, he seemed... okay? He never seemed like he was looking for, a change. I can read nothing from Amir's stony expression. He had a lot of struggles, more than the rest of us. If you're asking whether he would, do something to himself, no. He wouldn't. I know he wouldn't. He speaks with an iron certainty, with an absolute faith that brokes no argument. I can barely focus amid a wash of relief as we dodge the topic. I feel lightheaded at the subject straying too close to what I did. I try to keep my breathing level. Then, I'm sorry. I don't know anything that could help. He lets out a long, disappointed breath, slumping back against the wall. I feel like shit. There's nothing else that I could have done. Probably should have figured. Well, missing the bus ain't gonna help anyone. Figure that we should get going. Yeah. He heaves himself up against the wall, and the two of us depart in silence. Distant traffic rumbles, the sound trapped and reverberating without end beneath the dome of the sky. Oh, you've reached the end of the current build. Thanks for playing. Fate here, I hope you enjoyed getting to see the new set of some of the characters in Chapter 4. Of course, some of the threats that they face seem to be building too. Who can say where it might end up going next? If you enjoyed your time with the game, we'd be very grateful if you could leave a review on our itch.io page. If it gets a lot of the reviews, getting help the word out. If you'd like to support the project even further, you can do so on Patreon. If it's past December or so by the time that you read this, there's probably a new build right now. Patreons also get access to early builds for resolution assets, the behind-the-scenes content including the CG previews, and making of articles. You can also find us on Blue Sky or join the community on Discord and chat with some of the cool folks supporting the project. That's all for now. See you around. Okay, so it seems that at the very least, some good thing has happened for Ash. And I finally remember their name. So hopefully things continue to go at least well enough for Ash. That they don't have to continue to struggle. And hopefully Alex's perception of Ash, Alex being the other roommate, who kind of seems to be a little bit standoffish and a little bit like, I don't know about them being here. Because now they have a job, now they can contribute and whatever. But Amir, it's concerning to see how, well, not concerning, but it's I guess the word is, it's sad, I guess. It's sad to see how he still holds out hope. I mean, because there is no indication, as he said, that I believe their name was Derek, is dead, but there also isn't any indication that they're still alive. So I guess we'll have to see. It would be nice if the person was still alive and they're being held for like testing or some weird thing that is going on behind the scenes in Underhaven. But now about what is happening to Ash, about the moments where they sort of blank out. I kind of get the sense that perhaps it is something having to do with the 2 missing years, and perhaps those 2 years are maybe not just sort of like a bout of like amnesia where like something happened to them and then those 2 years are literally missing. It's that those 2 years are probably locked away. And I'm wondering if the numbers and the thing that he was doing with the napkin, because he said that it was very deliberate what he did with the napkin, where perhaps there is something locked away in his head that is trying to get out and they just don't know it. And it's probably very scary because it's like there is this other thing in your head, either, I don't want to say it's like another personality or anything, but maybe the memories, maybe something really bad happened, or maybe something that he just has to keep to himself happened. And maybe it's little by little slipping away, and maybe in this case, it happened because he was able to sort of dive into his deepest memories for the memory of the fact that this, what was it, Coulson or Carlston? This player happened to be a member of this sports team, I'm assuming, called the Archers, and they remembered that and they went along with it, meaning like the neural pathway to that memory was opened, and that sort of allowed some other stuff to sort of pop out. Because I don't know if you guys know, but even people that have some sort of damage to their brain, like sometimes where they have an aneurysm or they have a stroke or something like that, and certain parts of the brain stop functioning, sometimes the brain is able to, with a lot of therapy and some other stuff, sort of make up for what was missing, or to reconnect those neurons that are no longer able to establish a connection, or that were no longer able to establish a connection. So maybe that's what's happening with their mind, that little by little those connections are re-establishing themselves, and perhaps what's the moments where they are blacking out is the brain doing that. And we also know that in this visual novels universe, they have to have like these little implants that you can see on the back of Julian's back, which are tapping into the spine, which, you know, would be a way to tap into the brain. And we know from the beginning of the visual novel that Ash did something, and they were tapping into like the base of their skull or something like that. Something weird was happening with Ash. And I don't think that it was them just like hiding away. I think something happened, and eventually we're gonna get to see what happened with those 2 years, because it's gonna come flooding back. Whether it's good or not, we don't know yet. Now, about the whole scene with Ash and I already forgot their name. Wow, I'm horrible with names right now, sorry. But yeah, they presented Ash with a more masculine, and I would believe that it isn't so much more that it's a more masculine version of Ash, that it is the idealized masculine version of what Ash wished their body was. Because, you know, well, no, I'm not gonna say because, you know, because I myself don't even really know. But I believe that for some people, no, I'm not gonna say I believe. I feel like it might have to do something with like the gender dysphoria thing, where this masculine version was what Ash aspires to be, maybe. But yeah, like I don't know if I can speak too much on this, because it is not something that I personally have experienced. So yeah, maybe it's a subject that I shouldn't touch on. Although, to some extent, some people do suffer from some sort of dysphoria, where sometimes they're just not happy with the body that they have. And maybe that can be something that people can relate to in some way, shape, or form. Because, like, yeah, like sometimes you look at your body and it's like, yeah, I wish it was tighter, I wish it was stronger, I wish it looked a little bit more like how I pictured it, in a way. And again, the whole exchange thing, it always brings me back to the whole VR chat thing, where you can be whatever you want in VR chats. You can be a furry, you can be some sort of anime character, this sort of like, I call it twink, because like usually the more human looking avatars that you see are kind of twinky. They're kind of like thin, sometimes like thin masculine, which is a little weird, like a little on the twunk side, but like a little weird too. But sometimes you get people who have avatars that are not their own gender. Sometimes you'll find other people, well, like, yeah, like if you're a woman, you'll have a masculine avatar. If you're a man, you'll have a feminine avatar. So that's kind of how I picture the exchange kind of being able to work, or at least, oh my god, what is their name? the cat one, the Sphinx cat person. I that's how I kind of picture that that they were talking about, like, you know, whatever, I don't know. Anyways, but yeah. Anywho, so what are your thoughts so far? And it's actually a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. For some reason, when I initially read it, when it initially came out, it felt longer. But it's like literally just about an hour, so yeah. Anywho, so yeah, write down your thoughts, and thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Under Heaven yourself, you can do so by going down to the link in the description, which you can so download and play the game. They do have the Patreon, and they do have a subscribe star, which that is that little weird looking S hook thing next to the Patreon logo that looks like a blob now instead of a P. And like they said, you get earlier access to builds of Under Heaven, and you get the full resolution artwork that you see within the visual novel, and some other stuff. And they do have the Discord. You can follow them on Twitter, but like, why would you be on Twitter still? Like, really, people, come on. And you can follow them on Blue Sky. And like I said, you could support them on Patreon or Subscribestar. And if you'd like to become a channel member, it's been a while since I've done this, as you can probably tell. You can subscribe and become a channel member, get earlier access to these videos as they're being scheduled, and it does help support me and support the channel. It tells me like, hey, I like your videos, here's money on a monthly basis. And I go, hey, here's a video that I have scheduled for like 2 or 1 week in advance. Here, watch it. Also, I have a Ko-fi in case you feel so inclined to donate through there instead. And I have a throne. So yeah. Anywho, so I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.